Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm enjoying Daisy's medley of gins she brought, dude. She brought like 6 different kinds of gins, all infused with different flavors. I'm a happy camper over here. I don't think she understands how much I consume, though. Like a half a bottle's in my glass already. But anyway, I did it when she wasn't looking, so it's okay.
That's all right. What do you think? Do you like this one more or less than the
This is the one that was
one?
full. I don't know if it had a flavor.
Oh, you didn't?
No, not that one. I got one out of the bag.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
Anyway, it's great. It's great.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Nice, yeah.
Awesome.
Gin, the other vodka.
So we're recording this during Super Bowl or Super Bowl?
Yes,
over?
during the Super Bowl. It's
Okay.
currently going on.
So
Nick,
yeah.
is this bothering you?
What do you mean?
Like, would you rather be watching the Super Bowl?
No, none at all.
If it was the
I'm
Niners,
depressed.
if it was the Niners, that'd be a different thing, right? No.
I mean, my team is winning right now, and I bet $50 on them, so I don't really like it. Like the Niners lost to the Rams, and if they would have won, they would be in the Super Bowl, and I probably wouldn't be casting. But
Yeah, that's what I figured.
that's a different story.
That is a different story. All right. Anybody have anything cool that they did this week?
no.
All right.
I went
Not
for
a
a
big
hike,
Dying Light.
but yeah, I played mostly video games this weekend, which was wonderful.
I went to the Van Gogh exhibit. It's called like Beyond Van Gogh.
It was terrible, right? I went like last week.
I thought it was great.
Oh, no, okay. Fuck you. It's fine.
So I went in and like there's these like paintings with words on them, and you read like 15 of those, and I was like, ooh, I hope this is not all it is. And then I went into this giant room. It was like 300 feet by 100 feet, and they have like pretty cool projectors that project his painting all over the place, like all 300 feet, like a small auditorium. And you feel like you're in the paintings. I thought it was pretty fantastic. And then it goes from painting to painting to painting, and then from era of his to different era to different era. And you just sit there and enjoy it. But Mila was born out of her mind, so, immature people might not like it.
I'm sure people did.
That's really cool.
She's young as shit. She doesn't understand art.
Did you
or,
really not like it?
appreciated it?
Chris?
I liked it, like the first part where you learn about his life and like
Oh,
why he's
jeez.
painting and stuff like that. But at the end where it was just like they sprayed the photos on the wall and they moved it around, I was like, I could just see this on like it's nothing special.
What?
You're just in a room with his paintings.
All right, man. Whatever.
Bro, what do you think a museum is?
Yeah, I don't like museum. Don't get me started on the Louvre.
What do you want them to do? Fucking
Like, sir, here's the Mona Lisa. Here's a lady that looks like the Mona Lisa. She's
Okay.
going to touch your penis now. This is the museum.
The traveling Star Wars exhibit has like little activities that you do, and they show you like props from the movies, and like they could have just done a little bit more. I thought it was low effort, high return.
all right, all right.
Well, we've talked about football. We've talked about art. Maybe we should talk about video games.
Hell yeah.
We're all chatty Cathys today, dude. We talked about fucking garbage TV for like 30 minutes before the show started.
Well, we talked about Love is Blind, and the last time that show was out, we talked quite a bit
Yeah, we did.
about it on the podcast.
Took over the podcast.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into On the Radar. So games that have come to our attention recently. I'll start off with Power Slave Exhumed. So this is just another boomer shooter, just came out on Steam. It's like $20, and I guess it was a game on the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation, although I didn't know about these games back in the day. Now, I guess it went by 2 names back then, both Power Slave and Exhumed. I don't know. That's what I was reading, but I'm still not very clear on that. It looks very, very similar to Doom. I mean, just has that same kind of
Totally.
movement, the gun or the weapon like directly in the middle of the screen, health bar, so it's just like Doom or Heretic, but it's a little more, I guess, on the Heretic side with the fantasy setting, although you are using guns. I don't know. It could be good. The reviews are pretty good, but I have a feeling it's people who played this game and have some nostalgia for it.
Yeah.
There's no end of boomer shooters on Steam, and
No.
I don't know. It's probably not something I'm like quick to jump on. But
I
if
still
it's
wish-
on sale, maybe.
I still wish you would have
Especially
played.
for $17. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Maybe
with
like
the
for
graphics.
$5.
I still wish you would have played that one that was like, was overwhelmingly positive with thousands of
Yeah.
reviews, and it was $20.
And we keep forgetting the name of that.
Yeah,
one.
we keep forgetting the name of it. It was like highest rated boomer shooter last year. Anyway, somebody gifted to Bobby because he's never going to pay it for himself.
Yeah. So I don't know. Something to keep an eye on there.
Yeah, I'm asking somebody to go find what we're obscurely talking about, pay for it, and send it to you, Bobby, just so you can wax poetic on it, which might be worth the $20 actually. Steam Deck hardware review. Oh yeah. So that's all been. I actually did notes at the beginning of the week. Now I'm fucked because I don't remember shit. No, early hardware reviews are coming out, and I watched Linus's and I watched another one, and basically what they had to say at the end of it is basically there's no competition. There's no other like portable PC that even comes close. It's not a very crowded market in the first place. There is another one that's coming out that's supposed to be pretty good, but apparently what they've done with the software here is just incredible. It kind of reminds me when the Pixel phone came out and the camera was just so good because the software was so good. Not that the sensor was amazing; it was just all software. This kind of reminds me of that. It's just so well coded and everything that most things run perfectly. And they're taking a loss on every copy that they sell. So
Yeah.
you're getting a ton of value for the price. He also did. Linus recommended that you do not buy the high end one. I guess that glare screen anti-glare screen is pretty good, but he said the screen's just pretty good in general. And then you can put whatever SD card you want, and it will it loads just as fast. There's no slowdown, so you could have 3 terabytes in this thing, and it'll be loading as quick as anything else. So far, all good. I think that was the hardware review. I think they couldn't talk about like the UI and the software yet. I think that was off limits, but they were able to play like Forza and some other games. I guess Forza was the only one that didn't play, up to snuff. But everything else was great. He said. So good news. It's all good news, pretty much.
Nice.
I think the thing to take away from this is like, how the fuck do you guys compete with like Valve, who has such a big market share of the PC market, and they make such good hardware? It's like who else is making a PC handheld? They're like, oh, we're also in the game. Like there is no one else, and I'm not surprised by Linus's, because I watched the review too. I'm not surprised by his review.
Yeah,
like I'm not surprised at how efficient it is. People are already bitching about the battery life, but it's like, dude, it's a pocket PC.
Yeah, it's an incredible piece of hardware. And what I was going to say, at launch, it's going to have more titles available than any other console in history, because it has the entire Steam library. Or even if I guess that's up in the air, but even if it has 75 or 50 or 25%, it still has the largest launch library of any console of all time. Mm-hmm. That's fucking incredible, right? So
it's crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my.
That looks amazing. What's the
my
price point on them now?
400, I think, is the lowest one.
That's the medium one, right?
They
I thought
showed
that was
it
the
earlier.
medium
Yeah,
one.
I think they start around $400.
4, 5, and 600, I believe.
Yeah, well, 500. Oh, these
Well,
are
we don't know in
Can
Monopoly
God
money.
bucks.
Damn Canucks. And
Let
they're
me look.
crazy
Too
prices.
much. Too much Canadian.
prices.
Too much Canadian.
Yeah.
All right, $399 for the 64 gig, $529 for the 256 gig, and $649 for the 512 gig.
Chris, you can't.
There you go.
You just don't feel like using a VPN, like, at all for us.
Yeah.
Do we
What
have
is
company
the
money for that?
what does the VPN stand for?
A virtual protocol, virtual
private network.
private network.
Yeah, dude. If you want to come over here, set it up. I'd love to see you. Yeah. When do you want to come over?
What? What are you talking about?
What?
Right.
You don't want to come? You don't want to come over? Set this up?
No.
It's a piece of software. Okay, so I found out a money saver for me, which is really cool, and it's called Model Builder. As someone who sunk hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars in plastic models, i.e., behind me, listeners, fuck you, watch the stream every Sunday. There's this game called Model Builder that was released, and they have all the amenities that you get in real life. Your cutting sheet, your snips, your razor blades and stuff, and you just build models. That's all you do.
But
you snip them from the frames and you paint them, and you have all these jobs. You can either just free build and shit, or you get like these contracts and stuff, and it's pretty fucking cool.
but you not licensed stuff, right? There's no 40K in it.
No, but I'm pretty sure that you can import your own files.
Oh yeah, here they
Nice.
come.
Because they've already
Here
just showed that they just showed the Star Trek thing, and then they're showing characters and they're showing a bunch of
The
other
Star
shit.
Trek thing? You mean the USS Enterprise?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the blaster. That was Han Solo's blaster just now.
Nobody.
Yeah, and they showed
watches
a
Star Trek.
Gundam in the beginning. So really, you can just import any model you want as long as there's an STL file for it.
Oh yeah, dude, the fucking Warhammer. I can hear the hordes of for Warhammer 40K modders just running at this game right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
And you 3D print this after, or can you with the file that it generates? or no?
Maybe. The thing is, like, 3D print doesn't print with the colors, right? But yeah, I just thought this was really cool. Like, if you really can't afford for the hobby, I mean, I buy them because I eventually want to be able to play the game once I have enough free time, which may be once Vivian graduates college or something. But yeah, no, I think this is really cool, and it's a reasonably priced game for what it is. Yeah, check it out. It literally is just called Model Builder.
Hey Nick, if you go to your local, like, when's the last time you played a 40K game?
Me and Leslie played a 500-point game, and we discovered that her faction is not one of the most first-time player-friendly user factions. The reason being is that she has these things called miracle dice, which is just not fun to talk about. And we got frustrated like after turn 3 of a 5-turn game, and we just stopped playing.
Wow, poor lady, the shit you put her through, man.
Well, we had fun in the beginning, and then it became to the point where we're like, wait, what are we doing again? Like, how do we do this? And like, dude, it honestly is a game that you just need a referee there to like help you guide you through it.
Damn.
Like for the first 5 times you play, because no matter how many times you read the rules, no matter how many times you read the codexes, you still forget so much shit because there's so many rules. Not only do you have to remember all the rules of your army, you have to remember the base rules of the game. And then you have to remember the unique rules of the missions. And then you have to remember all this other shit. And you can just have reference material with you, but still, like, you have to have a referee or somebody that really knows what the fuck they're doing. And luckily, my local game store knows what they're like. They have people there. So
That sounds awful, dude. Terrible.
no, it's fun.
No, what I was gonna ask is like if you show up to a place to play, and you have 3D printed models, are you poo-pooed? You know?
I mean, it depends on where you're going. If you go to like an actual Games Workshop store, yeah, no, they poo-poo on you real hard.
Yeah.
They those are like the Puritans, like those are like the Amish people of the world. Like
Yeah.
they tell you to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But if you go to like your local game store, people don't really care. Like there are people that play with like 3D printed xenomorph models and call them
Tyranids.
Tyranids.
Gotcha.
And they're just like, yeah, like this is my Tyranid army. And like the whole army will be actual Tyranid, like 40K bodies, but all the heads are 3D printed to fit the Tyranid bodies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This game
So
is
it's-
not for VR, correct? Or VR, sorry.
No.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It would be cool.
I mean, it's
Yeah, it
cool
would be
either way, but yeah, it'd be cool for VR.
That's a good idea. How much was that game?
$17.
Okay, and it looks like they have a lot of DLC, but maybe these are just bundles. House Flipper.
No. Those
Oh,
are just
games.
bundles with developer
With the
games.
same developer. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's single player only. So you had mentioned that you can take out contracts, but I'm guessing that's not other players giving you the contract.
No. So they showed it in the trailer where it's like, I need this T85 tank to be painted in like this much time. So you have to like paint the tank this color and all this shit, and then it rates your build and tank and all that stuff.
It's too bad that it's not multiplayer, so the second player could play your wife complaining about you not doing other shit around the house.
Honey, why is there $6,000 missing from the checking account?
All right.
So speaking of something that is probably going to take some money out of my checking account, Elder Scrolls Online High Isle is what I put on the radar. It's a new, I believe, DLC, not expansion, but I could be wrong. Either way, it's the new installation in the Elder Scrolls Online. And it takes you to the land of where the Bretons live, which to me is like amazing because I don't really think... well, it's been a very long time since we've really visited the Bretons' land, the High Isle land, and so I hope it's going to be a really good story, kind of like how Somerset was.
That would High Isle, would that have been like Morrowind or like one of the other games visited there? One of the older games, or nobody's ever visited in any game?
I don't think anybody has visited.
Okay.
there. I can't remember if I don't think Arena took place there. I thought Arena took place in Cyrodiil, and then Daggerfall, I think was the one.
Daggerfall, yeah.
That might have brushed some of the Breton stuff. I don't think it was all about it because you were essentially like a pirate on a ship, I believe. I didn't really play a lot of it, but I know that it was kind of like you were on sea with some of it, and I don't think it was all just in the Breton land or whatever. And so I'm hoping that this is very rich in story like Somerset was, because it's kind of been a while, I think, since they've released a kind of story-driven installation.
Somerset was huge, right? It was a big one.
I think it was just a DLC, but it was amazing.
Was
like
it free?
No, they all cost.
That's how they
money.
make money, right?
Yeah. But I think it's
because there's
worth
no
it.
monthly fee.
True, unless you want to be a part of ESO Plus, then I think it's $15 a month.
Yeah, it's kind of like the RuneScape membership program. Like you don't get all that much, but it's like you get benefits, right?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
You're kind of renting all the games. So I think that if you are playing ESO consistently almost every day or putting in like some good hours and you want to invest into it, it's an amazing deal because you essentially rent all the DLCs and expansions. So you have access to everything. Like he was saying with RuneScape, it's the members' land. You know what I mean?
So how many DLCs have you bought for this game, do you think? There's been two big ones that I know of that I can think of.
Isn't there 8 total or 11 total? I think it's 8 or 9.
I have all of them except the last one.
So they've all been worth it because you keep buying them. That's what I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, ESO is a game that I always like eventually gravitate back towards, especially when a really like an event happens or like one of these new installations that come out that look interesting, because not all of them I think are super interesting. Sometimes they'll release DLCs that are just dungeons and stuff, but I like the big story ones where you're unlocking a whole different land. And I know in my time of playing Elder Scrolls, I have not visited the Breton land at all, so I'm like, that's perfect.
If I was like, if I had a ton of time, I think this would be my MMO of choice. I know New World has a bunch of cool stuff, but I'm a Skyrim diehard, and it has the same controls or close to. They try to mimic a lot of the Skyrim stuff, right? They kind of built this game off of the back of Skyrim, right?
Like, a bit, yeah. And then they kind of marketed it, and I felt that it's very much like, at least for me, Skyrim, but online. So, but I mean that in the way that I play as well. I do like to play alone, but I like jumping in with people if there's like a world boss that's kind of just too tough, and I like jumping in with dungeons and events with other people. But otherwise, like I like to play ESO alone. Actually, it's just awesome online, which is weird. I'm playing with everybody and no one at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like that too. A lot of the times. Can you put Kamigawa on my highlights, please, Chris? America's Army, the game is shutting down after like 20 years, I think it is. Days, do you know what this is?
Nope.
It's one of the craziest things. Every time it comes up, I'm like, it's the most insane thing that's happened in video games in like a long fucking time, or ever, basically. The U.S. Army, America's U.S. Army, from the government, conscripted game developers to make a game that was free online to play in order to recruit troops for the actual army. Yeah. So like you would go and you play this game, and if you rank up, the higher you rank up, I believe the more sought after you are by the government. Basically, like they want you more if you're like this. If you're top of the line guy.
If you've got all the stars.
If you got all the stars, yeah, exactly. That makes you more fucking valuable to them or whatever. So maybe the package they give you when you fucking sign up is better. Anyway, apparently it was a success because it was around for 20 years. MIT did a study on it, and apparently like people who played it, their thoughts of the U.S. Army, their like opinion of the U.S. Army raised after playing the game than actually losing it. There's been different iterations. There've been different DLCs. I don't know if we're going to see another. If it was successful, why aren't they going to do it again, right? But I just find it insane that they used it as a recruitment tool. But and if you think about it, like most of the systems, Nick, you're fucking in the military. How much of it is digital these days? Like a fucking shit ton, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of it's digital. What's even crazier is like, yeah, this came out a long time ago, and yeah, this was really effective, and you talk about it. What's even fucking crazier, man, is that every branch has its own goddamn esports team now, and not only esports team, multiple esports teams for different games.
Damn.
And they're actual active duty service members with actual ranks.
Well,
I actually applied for one.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, but they wanted me to extend my contract for 5 more years, and so
okay.
yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this it's crazy because yeah, this was actually extremely popular when it first came out because, like you said, it was free and it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't
a bad game.
No.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy to see that it's shutting down.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna do something again because I mean,
I feel like the esports thing is the new thing they're doing.
Yeah, it could be. I think you need a bunch of bad motherfuckers behind keyboards. You do. Eventually, right now, as we speak, and for the last 3 years, a lot of drone strikes are being commanded by people on Xbox controllers in the United States, bombing people over there. You want a bad motherfucker on that control. I mean, if you're going to do that, you want somebody very, very good at Xbox controllers, right? I guess. I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying you want a very good video game player.
You want people that are familiar with the systems. That's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like a bad movie plot point.
It does, dude. This is The Last Starfighter, isn't it? Probably?
Yeah, an Ender's Game in a lot of movies.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. All right, I'm going to get in a drink. You want a refresher?
Sure.
Fuck yeah, you do.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. I've got another little war game here called War of Rights. I feel like I brought this game up before. This game has definitely come up before on the podcast because I'm always on the lookout for video games about the Civil War. And this is, they call it a strategy game, but it looks like a first-person shooter. So I think you can also control your troops in some way. But it's reenacting the battles of the Civil War in Maryland. Yes. And I don't know, it looks like that World War I game we played, Verdun. So I don't know. I don't know. I got a feeling I would go into this game and be disappointed. But the Civil War thing definitely has me interested.
So, Bobby, this is one of those games, man, where the community makes it. I went in a deep dive on this game and I watched a bunch of videos about it, and I actually bought it and then returned it because I just don't have the time sink or the effort to get into it. So to like legitimately play, like not on like the kiddie servers where people are just running around hitting each other with swords on the battlefield and there's no organization. You have to join a regiment, and there's all sorts of Discord servers for them and stuff, and they all log in at the same time, and you all actually have ranks and shit, and like not all of them are super serious and stuff, and not all of them have like military bearing, but if you get into like a decent group of friends or like a decent group, the game apparently is like super fun. And yeah, there is like a strategy part, because there is like whoever's playing like a general, I think you get like a little bit of an overview map where you can tell people where to go and kind of show, like you can kind of direct troop movement, but they don't have to follow what you say.
Well, and Battlefield used to do that too. When did Battlefield stop doing that? Was that Battlefield 2?
No, Battlefield 2142 is the last one.
Yeah, Battlefield 2142 was the last one.
Last one where you had a commander role.
Yeah, and that was the best
where
one.
You can do it with your iPad, right?
No, nobody remembers 2142.
What? No one remembers that? That was the best one. You guys don't think so?
Most Battlefield players would disagree with you on that, I think.
Well, most Battlefield players are fucking stupid. Perfect.
Hey. But no, this game, like I said, is one of those games that's like really made by the community. Like you just have to really get into it. It doesn't really matter what like side you play. Actually, most of the regiments will flip sides out of like fairness, I guess you can say. It is really realistic, like as far as like how the guns work, because they take god fucking forever to reload, and they're inaccurate as fuck.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that doesn't sound great. I don't know, man. Best Civil War game, North and South. Nintendo Entertainment System.
There's not a lot of them, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have loved a Total War game, and I think there is one, or there was a mod or something. I think Christian has talked about that before, but I think you also said it wasn't, like there was something wrong with it. It wasn't really the best one.
Yeah, it was a little janky. But on that note, it's weird that you bring that up. There's this mod that they've been working on for 4 years to restore this game to what it was supposed to be. And it just came out like a couple weeks ago. So if you wanted to hop in, it would probably be the time. It's on Steam, just, Steam Workshop, just a one button download. So it's nothing complicated.
Oh, so it's a mod for which game?
Empire Total War.
Empire Total War. Okay.
On Reddit, every once in a while, you see one of these moving graphs that goes year by year, and you can see it move around. And like, whatever it is. One of the ones that I watched was military spending. It starts at like 1800, and it just keeps going until the current day. And man, when it get like U.S. is like at the bottom list the entire time until it gets to fucking the Civil War, and then boom, number one, because both sides are spending shit tons of cash trying to, and then also fatalities. There's never been another war where more Americans died because it was Americans on both sides. Way to talk about a bummer. Amanda, what the hell's the Wanderer?
Yeah, so, using your noggin in a different way, The Wanderer is kind of like a puzzle game that's in VR. I swear, guys, I'm gonna get VR. I think that, but I'm stocking up the titles I want to get, and this is one of them. It seems really kind of neat. It's like an escape room style kind of puzzles of how they do stuff, and I don't know. It kind of gives me like some almost Fallout vibes too. So like it seems like it would be really kind of fun, very post-apocalyptic as well. And so, I think it would be really cool. And I think it's already out, if I remember correctly. But
you're just kind of going around the wasteland trying to survive.
Yeah, you're trying to get out of these rooms and survive, and finding all of these, like, and solving all these different kind of puzzles and learning about all these different things. And it looks, like I said, it looks cool. It was released in January 27th this year, and so far the reviews are very positive. So once I get my VR, I want to check that out.
The VR might solve your, it's not a problem for you, but it's a problem for me for you. Is that you're playing on a laptop, and so you're always looking down and stuff. So when you're playing in VR, you can set up a virtual screen, and it could be IMAX inside of there, for you, so to watch movies or whatever it is. So yeah, VR is like double good for you because it's not just VR you're going to get out of it. You're going to get like a movie screen out of it too.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's
awesome,
awesome,
so I can
right?
lay in bed and watch a movie. Wow.
And the porn
future,
is
dude.
insane. I've heard.
Well, Steam is constantly, ever since I looked up the Tales of Narnia or Nadia or whatever, because I wanted to learn what that was. Not the Tales of Narnia, but Nadia.
That's what we need. We need an X-rated Tales of Narnia.
No, we don't need
Those
that.
beavers
Oh, I
going
bet you
at
it
it.
exists. I could look
I'm
it up.
sure
if
it
you...
is, dude. Was it Rule 42 or something? If it exists, there's porn for it. I don't know. But ever since I
34.
even looked at it, 34, thank you. But ever since I even looked at it, now I'm looking at my Steam, whatever queue and discovery queue, and like that kind of shit pops up.
Here's
I'm
the thing, though, Dace. Here's the thing. You have not excluded the tag adult from your.
No, because I'm curious.
Exactly. I haven't done it either. I haven't done it either.
Well, here's the thing. I think the reason they're so quick to try to sell that stuff to people, like you click on one game, they're just like dumping all the advertisements on you.
algorithm.
Yeah, the algorithm. I think the way it's like that is because if you look on Steam and go to like new and trending, almost always, like in that top 10, almost always there's some X-rated game in there, maybe multiple ones. Yeah, let's check right now. Like top, I don't know, new and trending. Okay. All right, maybe the algorithm's messed up on this one. Maybe it's different for other people because my account.
Maybe our
yeah.
account.
What's considered porn in Canada is a completely different thing than here, though. Like if
Why?
two people shake hands aggressively, it's like sexual.
Oh my goodness. All right. Sorry guys, I'm a little distracted because I'm trying to fix the chat here. We've been going this whole time. I'm like, man, everybody's watching the Super Bowl. Like nobody's here in chat, but
Oh, there they are.
it just hasn't been working. Yeah, but I'm going to stop doing that because I sound like an idiot. So let's talk about games that we have been playing. I've got some hardware to talk about. So I got that new monitor a week ago, and I had set it up right before the show. The Asus ROG XG349C. Everybody get that?
So sexy.
Yeah. So that monitor, it's the ultra wide, 144 hertz, 1440p. 1 millisecond response time, IPS panel, had all the things that I wanted. Honestly, installing this monitor, I pulled it out of the box. I'm like, God, it feels so cheap and flimsy. You spend that much money on something, you expect it to weigh a little bit more.
Yeah.
But so did my last monitor. It honestly, the quality is just like my last monitor. It seems like the same exact thing. It's not like super great, but it's pretty good. The extra space is nice. And I mentioned last week, the real reason I went with this particular monitor is because that built-in KVM. Sad to say, it is not... A KVM, usually you press a button and it makes the switch over to the other computer. This is not like that. And I checked even on the Amazon reviews and people confirmed it that, yeah, you have to go in and you have to change the display. And then you have to go back into the on-screen menu and you have to choose, you have to go to like System, USB, KVM, and then set it to USB-C.
You could just do it in the software. Easy, faster, couldn't you?
There's no software
you
for
can't
this.
do that, yeah.
There's no software for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a physical button you can buy to do this? Like a big red
No.
button?
They give you options to set shortcuts in the on-screen display, and in the manual, it says you can set a shortcut to the KVM. Now, I would still have to switch my display input and then switch, go to the shortcut for that, but there's no option to set the KVM in the shortcut menu. So the manual lied, which is unusual. So yeah, it's really cumbersome. It's a real pain to do it.
You're going to return it?
No,
No?
because no other monitor does that. But when I do make that switch, like it's still better than what I was doing,
Okay.
which is just hook up multiple cables to the monitor and then like go under my desk and unplug stuff.
Oh.
Like that's what I was doing before.
Yeah.
So this is still better. But when I do have it set up, this thing is so nice to edit on. Like just to see the timeline going all the way across there and be able to edit with all that. And I've got my preview windows and everything up. Like it really is nice to edit in. I really got to get a new MacBook though, because mine's like 6 or 7 years old. Like it's pretty dusty. So I could use a little more horsepower, but this thing is great for editing. Now, as far as gaming, of course, the first thing that I played on it was Deep Rock Galactic because I spent so many hours in that game. I'm going to notice anything that's different. And it looked fine. What I'm noticing with Deep Rock and other games is that it plays in widescreen. The game plays in widescreen, but every now and then there'll be like a loading menu or, the end game screen is only 16:9. So I get the black bars, which is a little weird. But you kind of get you kind of get used to it. It was a little weird at first. Like I'd really have to like turn to look at my health or turn to look at something else. The biggest difference I'm noticing though is that, I was playing on a 2560 by 1440, and now I'm playing on 3440 by 1440. So it's a lot of extra pixels to push. And my graphics card, like for the first time ever playing Deep Rock, like some exciting stuff was happening, explosions, all the stuff it was trying to render, and the graphics card dipped below 60 frames a second. And it started to like chug a little bit, and I noticed it. And I've never seen that happen with Deep Rock.
It's time, Bobby.
Yeah, so the graphics card is, it's a 1080, dude. I still have a 1080.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's probably time for an upgrade there. But if the graphics card gets updated, I've got to upgrade the whole thing. Man.
Yeah.
I've got to get the new PCI Express, 5.0 slot, So.
I think if you look for a pre-built with all the specifications you need,
I don't want to do
extra room, all that stuff, I think you'll find whatever
I've done all the research. I got all my parts picked out. I'm waiting on a new case, the Landcool 3 by Lee & Lee. Going to go with like a 360 rack. I got all the parts picked out.
What's the price tag on it?
Like over $3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah.
And
you deserve it, Bobby. You've been saving. You've been not using data for your phone for 5 years. That's $3,000 right there.
Yeah, I've been skimping a lot. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I really don't know how much better that's really going to make my life, and it'd probably be wiser to spend $2,000 on a new MacBook Pro. Honestly,
You can't. No, I guess not anymore. I was going to say you can't convince work to pick one up for you, but not now.
No. My new boss hates Macs too. Yeah, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. I have more fun doing the research of building a new PC than actually building the PC. I think when it comes to actually getting it, and it's like, I don't know. Do I really need it? But
what graphics card did you pick?
3070 Ti, because once you get into the 3080, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The markup on a 3080 is just bananas.
I got it at cost because I went pre-built. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I couldn't do a pre-built though.
All right, man.
It goes against everything I believe in. Right. But they are saying graphics cards are going to start coming down in price soon. And one thing I want to throw out there too. So I found this website called StockX. Have you guys ever heard of this?
Nope.
Yeah, me neither. I just kind of stumbled upon it.
I've heard of it. My brother used it to get a PS5.
Okay. I mean, I did a bunch of research. Like, is this legit? Because it seems a little too good to be true. They started out selling shoes because, with shoes, a lot of people, you can get scammed very easily. And that's like big business is like the shoe biz.
The aftermarket. Yeah.
So what this company does is they act like a middleman. Somebody says like, hey, I've got this for sale. And they do an auction. It's like the Steam auctions when they sell stuff on Steam. It's like we've got this many for sale at this price, and these people have buy orders at this price, and then occasionally they meet and they sell. It's not like an eBay auction. But what happens is when an item is sold, the seller sends the item to the company. They check it out and says, okay, this is legit. And then they let the buyer know, okay, send your money over and we'll send you this. So they act as a middleman, and everything that I've read says, yeah, this is totally legit. It takes a little while. The delivery is,
it's
probably twice as long.
Twice as long, yeah.
Yeah, but they've had no problems.
What's their cut? Like 10% or something?
I don't know.
It's got to be something.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't made a purchase on this yet, but the graphics cards are ridiculously low. And when I say ridiculously low, I'm talking like $200 over MSRP, as opposed to like $500,
right,
what they usually are. But yeah, they have all sorts of computer parts on this site. So I don't know. I'm still a little wary of it, but it might be something I'll look into if I start picking up parts.
Did you know this company comes from Detroit?
Really?
This is a Detroit made thing. Like I've heard of StockX for a while, but it was always shoes. I remember seeing commercials for it on TV in Detroit, and it was like Eminem.
Oh yeah,
like featuring it selling his stuff on StockX. Yeah, but I didn't know that they started selling everything else. That's cool.
I just found out.
Gilbert founded it.
Good for them, man. That's awesome.
Cool.
Homegrown business. I just found out about Woot. Woot ! It's an app. So it's an Amazon company, and they sell their own overstock. Like so
that's where people were buying returned Amazon items, if I believe too.
Yeah, that too.
It's really weird. You can buy shit that people return back to Amazon.
Yeah, and it's kind of like every day new shit pops up, and the sale is only for one day, so you kind of have to keep checking it. But you can get some really good deals. Are we on the highlights? I forgot where we were. Okay, so I could just go right into my DualSense is where I bought my Woot. Or is Woot is where I bought it. Thank you, somebody who told me about it on the Discord. So, I'm playing on my Xbox controllers, and I realize these things are like 7 or 8 years old, Bobby. Like, how long have we had our Xbox controllers?
Oh,
right?
Those are ancient.
They're ancient. The cord keeps falling out, and I keep putting batteries in them, and they disconnect, and every time it vibrates, and I'm like, I'm an adult that makes good money. What am I doing? What am I doing? Like, I use it every day, right? Just like Sam's chef knife, I'm going to be like, I use this every day. Let me get a good one. So the big question is, do you go with the Xbox Elite controller, which is $200, right? But it's like,
damn.
Everybody says it's the fucking bee's knees, right? It's like the dopest dope you ever smoked. But the DualSense has a whole bunch of new features that nothing like it has haptic feedback, which is hard to get to work on PC because very few games actually support it. So those are the big things. So the difference for me was the $130 difference. You can get a DualSense for $70 versus $200, right? That's a huge problem or differential. So I'm like, okay, I'll go with the DualSense. And I've talked about this before. I grew up with PlayStation controllers, so I know how to play Street Fighter on PlayStation controllers, not Xbox controllers. I've never been 100% comfortable with Xbox controllers. It's just one of those things, kind of like Bobby prefers the keyboard or whatever. It's just like whatever you grew up with. So the muscle memory is there. So I'm like, okay, that's the determining factor. The money, and I feel like I'm coming back home. Big problem. There's no drivers for the PC for the DualShock, but that's okay because Steam has its own drivers and makes it work.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought it had its own drivers.
Yeah, so you can play anything on Steam. Here's the problem. Probably my number one controller game is Forza, and that's on fucking Game Pass, which is Microsoft, which they're going to probably always have a bar there for using the DualShock. So already I'm like, oof, I don't know if I'm going to... I don't know. If I fucking love it, I haven't even tried it. I have it all connected and stuff, but I haven't done the control. You have to do a couple things in Steam. But if I'm going to have to fucking love it for me not to return it just because of the ease of use with the Xbox controller. And by the way, that Elite controller looks amazing. It looks, you can see the $200, It's like when you order that top shelf liquor and the bottle comes down and you're like, yeah, that I'm getting my money's worth right here. Like, check that out, dude. It's called the Elite 2. Like that thing, yeah, that thing looks worth it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You gotta have big mitts to play with this, though. Look at those.
Yeah, I remember originally when the Xbox came out, they were like, yeah, this is made for American hands. Because like people had always said, Japanese people are smaller, and the PlayStation is a Japanese product. So yeah, it's always been a smaller controller. I think they went a little too crazy with the Xbox controller. It's a little too big. I have huge hands, and I think it's too big. So yeah, but I remember that was one of the like, hey, America, fuck yeah.
Big controllers.
Yeah. So anyway, more on. I will probably have made my decision by next podcast. Stay tuned.
Nice.
Anyone?
That's your cue, Nick.
Yes. So I actually got to play some Dying Light, and I got pretty far. This game, it feels so weird because I try to rush through it, and I feel bad because I have to skip cutscenes and everything. I just don't have enough time to finish it. Have you guys ever had a game where you want to play it, but there's an even better game, or not better game, but just a game that you're more anticipating, i.e., Total War Warhammer 3
Are you
4
saying,
days for me?
Are you saying you want to play Warhammer so much that it's interrupting your current video gaming? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not that. What I'm saying is like I know I don't have enough time to finish Dying Light. like between family stuff, between work, all this stuff. Like I just cannot finish it. Does that make sense?
Sure. Okay. Go on.
And so like I'm just like I can't get the full Dying Light experience because I'm having to skip the fucking cutscenes and everything.
I don't think it's the cutscenes that. I mean, cutscenes are a minute long, dude. That's not the part that's hurting you. It's taking your time during the missions. That's what's hurting you. Like,
yeah,
if you cut every, let's say you skip every cutscene, congratulations, you save 7 minutes throughout the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, watch the cutscenes, dude. You're not saving that much time.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess
anybody?
You're right.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, it's a long
agree.
game.
I mean, and I feel like, I don't know, with how long the game is as well, and Dying Light is still interesting, that you probably could cut the cutscenes, but like, I don't know, all of it's great though too, right? So like, you would want to see as much story as you could.
Yeah, like I like the story. Like it's not bad. It's just I don't know.
I felt like this guy
I'm just really obsessed with Total War Warhammer, and it's all I'm watching YouTube videos and shit about it. I'm trying not to spoil shit. My favorite character in like in that universe just got announced and stuff, and I'm just like I'm like Dying Light's cool, but come on,
hey man,
like,
there's timing for everything.
Yeah. And then Elden Ring comes out 2 weeks later, and I'm buying that on the PS5 to play with Diddy, and it's just Dying Light. It's just came out at a bad time.
It does happen.
I agree with that. Actually,
how are you enjoying it, Days? What are you thinking about it?
I love it. I think it's a great game.
I also love it. I think it's a lot of fun and it's fantastic. I wish I wasn't as much of like, a little pussy because I'd love to play it at night after work, but I can't because it gets dark and I get scared. And so even if
in real life, you're talking about
in real life, yeah, it'll fuel my nightmares. But you know what? This game is worth it. It is worth it. It's just it came out at bad timing because I've been playing a lot of Lost Ark and I have limited game time, and so Lost Ark's gonna win it out of the two at the moment. But Dying Light is something that I'll definitely go back and finish because I love Dying Light. I can tell already that I enjoy Dying Light 2 enough that I'm definitely gonna want to finish it and do it as well.
Hey, Days, have you been caught out at night in game yet?
No, I get too scared.
I just want to.
I have.
Yeah, I have. It's not that bad. Dude. It's not that bad yet. I haven't really.
No, it's until you get to the no zones when what are they not called abnormals? What are they called?
The virals or something.
Virals? Yeah, I think that might be it.
Yeah, when they
God,
when
like
they
Jabba the Hutt, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, that any game that makes you feel like when you're running away from something, like you can feel the fingers on the back of your neck.
Yeah,
you get scared. You're like, "Hey, this is the safe zone." Like that's a good game.
Yeah, you can hear the fucking breath of the fucking whatever's chasing you. Can
That's horrible.
You're like, and then what I was talking about last week is like, don't you think the architecture is a little weird? Like it's built to be a little confusing. So sometimes you're like, I'm like jumping, trying to grab ledges, and you can hear the goddamn zombies. You're like, please grab this ledge, and then you don't know exactly how hard you can, how much you can jump.
I have two gripes with this, and that's one of them. I wish there was maybe a little thing that would maybe highlight where you're gonna jump. Because I died maybe once or twice jumping on a ledge lower than I thought where I was going to jump. And then another thing is there's no sprint.
Yeah, you're just always running.
Yeah. You're just always full blast.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, sometimes I want to slow down and like look behind me or something.
My knees.
And like my guy's out of breath, like just walking across the room because he's just sprinting. And
yeah,
so
I read a guide on this actually, and they said that like stamina is more important than health or anything else. Basically, it's basically the number one stat. So keep that in mind when you're putting in your points and stuff. And also, the same guide was talking about how you can probably play this on hard because on this game, once you're fucked, right? And the hardness doesn't affect the AI. If you're gonna get caught,
No.
you're gonna get
It
caught.
affects how much health they have, though.
Yeah. But it, what he's saying is like, it's a game about not getting in bad situations, so you can.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of difficulty to not get in bad situation. That part doesn't change. Yeah, the barks, the guy, fucking. I wish I don't. I'm so thirsty. I really hope I don't have to drink my own pee. I've heard that like 15
so
times.
Funny, dude.
Yeah. You find him, you come over a ledge, and he's just kind of like rocking back and forth, fucking hoping he doesn't have to drink his own pee. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan of this game. I haven't played it since last week, though. Because I've been playing Kamigawa, guys. It's the new set. Nick, have you got your mitts on this yet?
Not yet.
Did you pay?
Only because just life stuff.
Did you buy the pre-order?
No, I didn't buy the pre-order. I totally lost track of time. I think this set, I really like the art. I think I might buy a case of this in real life. I watch a YouTube channel called Alpha Investments, and he buys cards in real life and says like what's invested or not. And the lands will never be remade again. And I don't know if you've seen the unique lands. They're like actual pieces of art. Young Jamie, can you pull that up? AKA Sniper, can you pull that up, please? You can just look up Kamigawa unique lands. And
I don't know anything about them.
And they are truly, truly beautiful. Yeah, like I think they're so cool. And I think I might buy a case, which is like $600, which is 6 boxes. Or no, it's like $520.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just see where the value goes. For resale or just for personal?
So that's not no, yeah, just for personal or resale or whatever. Like whatever happens, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna go down in value. This is the first time that I've seen. Yeah, look at that thing, man. The what do they call it? The second artwork, way better.
Yeah, the second artwork. So it's the middle ones right there. You see that? See like where there's like 9 of them. Oh yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, see those are all the lands. Those are the common lands.
Yeah,
and I don't know how the rarity works.
It's like traditional. It's like traditional Japanese artwork, right?
Yeah.
God, that's sick, dude. I haven't seen these.
Really cool.
And
damn,
I think you can get them in either hollow or you can get them in regular paper. And like, I just don't know the specifics, but I just know people are really, really, really investing in buying physical. And they said they will never make these again.
Yeah, they're fucking amazing, dude. So let me talk about the set a little bit. So Kamigawa is a place, just like we've talked about before. Magic the Gathering goes from realm to realm, different multiverses, right? A different universe. They've been to Kamigawa before, but now that they're returning to Kamigawa, the timeline has gone forward quite a bit. So it's no longer feudal Japan. It's now like cyberpunk Japan. So this is the first time ever that Magic's saying this is our first sci-fi set ever. It doesn't feel super sci-fi, and I think it's because they don't want to make a huge jump and scare people. They're like, it's all robots and guns now, and it's a lot of swords, ninjas. Like it's a lot. It feels like fantasy. The only thing,
and there's a reason for it too. Do you know anything about the story at all?
I don't.
So there used to be these things called the Phyrexians, which were made out of metal, and they destroyed everything. And they leaked into Kamigawa somehow.
Oh.
And instead of destroying, they created and they assisted the Kamigawans. And they have amplified the evolution of their culture to the point where they're just so far in the future that they have electricity and they have all these things, but their electricity is through mana and magic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fucking dope. I haven't looked into the story. The biggest sci-fi part of the whole thing is mechs. So, there's fucking Voltrons and shit. There's an actual Voltron. So there's a bunch of like mechs where you have to use little creatures and you have to get them tired. You have to use the fucking little creature, which means manning. Basically, you have to make your little guy tired to be a pilot, and he runs the mech. So you have this mech sitting there. It's empty. You can't really do anything with it. Then you use your little guys. Basically, they run into the mech and use it, and then it becomes a creature. And they're usually like really strong, much stronger than a regular creature for that price, because you have to exhaust these little guys. I hope any of that made sense. But basically, you have to turn your regular creatures into pilots to run bigger equipment. And it's a great concept. I think it's fun. But isn't there one, Nick, where you like sacrifice 4 or whatever, and you make a Voltron, like a giant motherfucker?
So there is one where you combine them. Yeah, I don't know the exact card. I don't have like the ultimate familiarity with the set, but there is like they have a lot of homages to current Japanese culture and previous Japanese real world culture, like Voltrons. This set is all over the place as when it comes to culture. Like they have traditional Japanese spirits, and like they veered away from the things that insulted Japanese culture when they first made Kamigawa 19 years ago or 18 years ago, and every Japanese person in Japan was like, "This is an insult to our culture," and so they cyberpunked it, and they kept some things that they liked, and like they have spirits and dragons and shit, and they also have, like you said, some of the gun, like the mechas and stuff, and so yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like the environment's fun.
I think I like the artwork of the last 2 sets more personally. I do have some favorites though. The sagas are fucking sick. God, it's called The Memory of Toshiba. Can you look it up real quick? The Memory MTG. The Memory of Is it coming up? God damn it! Never mind. Yeah, that's not it. Anyway, the sagas are like a card you put out and it matures over time. It gets better every turn, and then it has like, now they have these like ultimate form, so it matures, turns into a different card. But like I said, like I bring it up all the time. I love right there, the one in the middle. Yep, right there, the black and white one. Yeah. So the card on the left is called The Life of Tushiro, whatever. And it has all this like different things that he did throughout his life on the left. And then when he becomes a creature, he's the memory of him. So it's kind of like the ghost of him that comes and fights for you after you've done that. So I love cards. I love cards where mechanic, story, and art all come together. And that was my first standout card that I was like, this is super dope. And I played with it in draft, and it was really good. It was really good. Nick, you can, once it becomes a fucking creature, you can ninjutsu it. It goes back in your hand, and you start the saga over when you play it again.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, ninjutsu was the original Kamigawa
mechanic.
Mechanic. Yeah, and they brought back Bushido and a couple other things. Yeah, it's really cool.
Anyway, I'm having fun. The biggest problem with a new set is like balancing. Learning so much more stuff. It's just like, imagine there's this database in your head of 500 cards, and you've learned them, and you're very familiar with them. You don't have to read them anymore because you've played so many games. And then all of a sudden, there's 250 more. And it doesn't matter that you're adding 250 more so much. It's the 250 more. I'm just throwing numbers out there. It's probably more than that. It's probably 500. 500 new cards. And it's not the cards themselves. It's their integration with the old ones. Like, each one of them can do something crazy with some of the older cards. And you have to, like, that's where the best decks are made, where people are like, oh, this is going to make this other useless card from before amazing. Let me grab some of these, throw some of these together, and now I've got fucking cybergenetic werewolves that are going to stomp all over your ass, basically. So that's what's daunting, is like, but it's also exciting because there's no meta. Everybody's out there just fucking doing whatever they can, and the cream is going to rise to the top. Anyway, enough about Magic the Gathering.
Well, something that was kind of magical and yet not at all was the the game called How Fish Are Made, or How Fish is Made. This was brought to my attention by Warconius on Discord. He had put that, I believe, on the radar. This is a free game. It took like 5 minutes. I think everybody should play it because it's ridiculous. They definitely suffer from the same thing I've talked about before that's annoying, which is every time there's text that most of the fish, they sound like, it's like super low, like almost demonic sounding. But this game is basically just, it's choices. And it's simple choices. You're either going up or you're going down, and that's it. And you need to decide, and you can stay consistent with it or not. There's an amazing video breakdown of like a little movie inside of this game at a certain point. Like this game definitely has some surprises that you weren't expecting. I think it's very funny.
And it's free?
And it's free.
And it's 5 minutes?
Yeah, it takes like no time. You know,
Bobby's
I went
like,
one way.
You're talking my language.
I went one way.
Downloading it now.
Yeah, and I went one way. I went, I think, up the first time, and then I went down the next time. And they're slightly different, otherwise they're the same. But I'm not going to spoil any more because, like I said, this game takes, like, no time. But it is interesting, and it's, I think, just goofy. It's quite a satire.
Contain holes.
Yeah, it contains holes. So be careful if you have trypophobia, fear of holes.
Wow.
Oh, weird. Rianne has this. I never heard it spelled out before, though.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of holes, Dave?
No,
I'm
oh,
okay.
Stop it!
We don't have
Stop
to keep
it!
going down.
I didn't know it could be so creepy. I thought it was just, Emilio, you
that.
have triphobia, dude. So-
No, that's just not wanting horror shows.
God, dude.
For our listeners,
Oh.
he did a Google image search of trypophobia, and we found like a hand filled with holes, and I think it.
I thought that was a guy's back.
Oh man, I think they had one that was.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Don't go back. Don't go back.
Don't
That
go back.
was pretty gnarly, dude.
That was pretty gnarly.
I don't know what Twitch may have a problem with that. You know, we were talking before the show about this title, Christian and I was like, it should be How Fish Are Made, shouldn't it? But I don't know if he agrees with me on that. So when you first introduced it, you accidentally said How Fish Are Made because that seems like it would be correct.
Well, I guess I'm wrong. Damn. God damn. Hate being wrong. All good.
I don't know.
Well, that was interesting. I played.
Well, that was cool.
I played a lot of Ready or Not this week, and I gotta say, it's okay. It's not that great. A little bit of a letdown here.
Everybody's been talking about this game, dude. Tell me about it.
I know. So I went in and I'm like, okay, this is going to be cool. And of course, everyone's comparing it to the SWAT games. This game prides itself on being very, very realistic. So it's very strange to go into a co-op game where you go in with some other players and somebody gets shot and killed, and then they just have to spectate the rest of the game, or they can leave, but they're just out of the game. And these maps are pretty long too. They take a while to get through. So, you know, I understand you're going for hyper realism here, but at the same time, I'm like, that's tough because I was playing with a lot of strangers. Imagine playing with your friends and you're just like, some dude gets killed like 5 minutes in the mission, and you're just like, well, I don't know, man. Go like get something to eat or something because it's going to be a minute. I mean, that kind of sucks. The game is, this is not a AAA developer working on this, so I'm not like criticizing them too much, but you know, some of the character animations are a little wonky. The whole opening doors situation is a little weird. You can peek through doors, you can kick them wide open, or you can peek and then push them open, but it's very difficult to like line up the character, your point of view, so you can actually make that happen. And the use key, the F key that you use to do that, also just makes your character shout out. If you don't press anything or actually use it or something, they shout out like, you know, get on the ground or something like that. So a lot of times you'll be trying to sneak into the room all quietly and you'll go to open the door and then your character just yells out because you didn't line up the screen correctly with the door. So there's a lot of weird little things like that with this game. And then on top of that, the game is really just the same thing over and over. This is in early access too. So I imagine they're going to add stuff to it. But you go into the game and you have characters that, you know, you've got like hostages and you've got other characters that you need to eliminate. So you go in there and you have to kill them or arrest the hostages. I you don't really rescue them. You just kind of arrest them, and then you call in everything and bag up evidence, and you just like rinse and repeat over and over throughout the entire level until you've got everybody. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's the game in its entirety. There's no systemic progression where you earn like some sort of points and you spend them and you get upgrades or anything. I didn't see any of that. I'd kind of be surprised if they added that in later, because it really seems like they're just trying to go for a very specific, pure thing, like an uncompromised vision in this game. So I don't know. I haven't looked at the roadmap. I'm not sure what's coming along for this game eventually, but I don't know.
Is it randomly generated, probably, at least? The positions of the...
Well, the AI I did kind of like, because it wasn't like this guy's always here, that guy's always there.
Right.
And the enemies, they'll actually come around and sneak around behind you. So you do really have to act like a SWAT team. Like one guy's got to take point and the other people have to watch his flanks, and like you have to be organized and you got to communicate. So that part was cool, but it's just... I don't know, man.
It's not what you expected.
It's a little too hardcore for me, I guess. So, you know... I don't know. It's something I'll check back in on, but at the get-go, I wasn't like totally hooked on it.
Gotcha.
I mean, GTFO, I was like, that's the right amount of like hardcore for me. Like
with
that,
arcade.
Yeah,
right.
I kind of like that one a little bit more. But
it's also in early access. You don't know how much more they're going to put into it. Or...
Well, the other weird thing about this is, so this game's $40. So it costs $40 just to get it off of Steam, but there's a $120 version where you can get this deluxe edition. And what I'm reading from some of the reviews that people have left is that this version gives you a better version of the game, like a newer version of it, with more content.
I wonder if it's like, you know, you're playing 0.5 and 0.7 is under the $130 paywall.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Like you're one iteration or two iterations behind playing the $40 version.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, according to what I've read, that's kind of what's happening here.
If you're in early access, first of all, I think it's original, and second of all, I support it as long as it's in early access. Once the game's full release and you have 2 tiers, that's not cool. But yeah. I
don't think you can do that once the game's actually released.
Basically, you're just supporting the game extra.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what their roadmap is. I don't know when they actually plan to release this, but this game's been around for a while, and it was like in closed alpha, and then like they opened it up a little bit, and it was under NDA, and then very recently is when they opened it up to more people. So
it's like access to a PTR server is what you're paying for.
But $120 versus $40. I mean, $40 right off the bat. Like, I don't know if this is like a $40 game. It get there.
It is for the people that like this shit.
Yeah. Well, so, there's 3,000 people playing this. This maybe if you like, I don't know. I think even Tarkov has more going on for it than this. But in the early stages of Tarkov, I remember thinking like, this is a rip. But it grew into that price point.
Right.
This may do that at some point.
But that was only $20. It still is only $20, right, Nick?
Tarkov?
No, Tarkov went up in price when it was barely just a game. It was.
Oh, okay.
I think we paid $40 for it.
I could have sworn we paid $20 in the early days, but it's cool. Whatever.
No, it used to be really cheap, but now it's more expensive. So no, speaking of Tarkov in this game, I actually obviously have friends that play Tarkov, and some of them play this game only because of one thing. So Tarkov has had this feature where when you get to a door, you also press F and you open the door, right? But on the door, you can mouse wheel and choose kick, flashbang, and breach, grenade and breach, and like there's all these options. But they've always been grayed out because they just haven't implemented the feature in the game yet.
What a tease!
And so,
What a tease! Why not? Why even have the visualization there if you can't do it?
Yeah, and it's been there for like 2 years, bro.
Oh, man.
Like, I'm not joking. It's like legit been there for like 2 years. And so they played this game. All 4 of them played this game, and they're like, this game is blatantly, like the gunplay and everything is really trying to be like Tarkov. And they really like it, but like there's aspects that are really good. There's aspects that are really like bad. Like they obviously like the point because you can just get into a game, like get into combat really quick. They just don't like the lack of customability. And that I was gonna buy this game, but it's the same thing for me. Like, there's not much of a gamble. Like Bobby said, there isn't progression. There isn't like things to do per se. Like, you're just playing the game. Does that make sense?
Where's the freshness come from, Bobby?
The what?
The like replayability, or like, why
there is none. I mean, it's very difficult and really hardcore. So I guess if you're into that, like, but like I was saying earlier when you weren't in here, like one mistake and you're dead, and you can't revive your teammates. So if you're playing with like 4 friends and someone dies 5 minutes in the mission, like they're just on timeout for a long time while you spend the next half hour trying to complete the mission.
Well, I'm sorry I sent you this for your birthday or for Christmas, Bobby.
No, it's all right. I was very interested in this game, and like I said, I feel like this game is going to grow into what it promises to be. It's got some good things going for it, but
I'm happy I have this game.
Oh, you have it too?
Yeah, I have it. I've been playing with like Jew for You and my people that I play with when I play Call of Duty.
How are they liking it?
It's nice with us and our group when we play all together because that community is pretty tight. Like a lot of times I'll play hardcore cyber attack on Call of Duty with them.
Yeah.
And so we've already established a rapport of like communication and working together. And so when we're playing Ready or Not, like it is super efficient. Like we typically run through kind of levels because everybody's super coordinated and communicates well. And so it's fun. And I definitely am glad that I have it just if I'm getting the itch to play that with my friends.
Good.
You know, but I also, see with Bobby as well, there's no progression. You play like a few games maybe
and you're
because
good.
They are long and then you're good. Yeah.
Sony WF 1000 XM.
Oh, yeah. That's me too. Another model number. So I was shopping around for earbuds because I had this idea that as it is right now, I use these wired Bose earbuds and they plug right into my microphone. So it's kind of convenient. And I really like them because they have wingtips. I hate earbuds that plug your ears. Can't stand it. And, like they fall out a lot, or when you talk or like do something, it sounds like all muffled. You can hear yourself in your ear. It's like you got swimmer's ear. Absolutely hate it. So I love my Bose earbuds, but they're wired. And I'm like, you know what? It's 2022. Like the wireless technology is probably there. I should probably get some wireless ones. Plus, I could probably get away with like some really nice earbuds sitting on the couch watching movies because I use a Sennheiser headset for that now. So I went down this big rabbit hole of just researching wireless earbuds. And this particular model here, these Sonys, my girlfriend actually had these. She got them to use at the gym, and she ended up liking her old ones better. And so she's like, here, do you want these? And I was like, okay, sure, I'll try them out. And I realized after my research and after using these, Bluetooth, there's just like there's a latency with Bluetooth and audio, and you can't really get around that. And they have special earbuds and even headsets that use Bluetooth that use like technology called aptX or like some other stuff out there that try to reduce it, but still they advertise like 60 milliseconds latency. And I'm like, still, that's 60 milliseconds.
That's sizable.
For audio, that's not too bad. Like I really start to notice if I'm watching a movie and it gets around 100 milliseconds, like I start to notice. And Bluetooth will be anywhere between 100 and 500 milliseconds of latency, depending on if you're using like noise cancellation or like all those whatever features or, distance and interference and all that. But I was surprised, like, dude, Bluetooth audio, like it's just not... It's not going to work for like gaming and watching movies. Like you're just going to be out of sync. Like I noticed it when I was using these earbuds and watching YouTube videos. I'm like, it's not lining up with the words. The mouth isn't lining up with the words. Like this.
That's crazy though, because like, control, like the DualSense controller, they're Bluetooth, right? Mm-hmm. It's gotta be fucking, with much shorter. Maybe the input, maybe from the controller to the computer, it's faster than I don't know.
Well,
it's gotta be faster than 60, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. You wouldn't want that input lag, although I do get that. I don't know. That's a TV problem, though. But anyway, like with the audio, it was just unusable. And I thought, why do my Sennheisers work so well then? And that uses 2.4 gigahertz. But what I've come to realize is a lot of companies have their own proprietary wireless thing that they use, and those are a lot faster. So the Sennheisers are if you use like, the Bose wireless that have their own wireless transmitter and, the receiver and the headphones, like those ones work pretty well. So I don't know, man. I guess I'm just going to be stuck with wired earbuds for the time being and just still using.
On the other side, but it's because of like your case. For me, I wear Bluetooth headphones 9 hours a day.
But do they connect to your phone?
Yeah, they connect to my phone.
It's different with the phone for some reason. The latency is a lot less with the phone. They put a lot of work into like optimizing that, but for some reason you use Bluetooth with a PC and the latency just skyrockets.
But not just that, it's because I'm listening to a podcast. It's in my pocket. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much latency there is. It could be a minute long.
Yeah, music and podcasts, it doesn't really matter. But when you're watching something and it has to sync, and that's what aptX does. It's this technology that's supposed to sync up the audio and the video. And like it supposedly works pretty well, but I've checked all the earbuds that use that, and they're like $230, and the reviews are like 3 stars. So I don't know. I was just kind of disappointed. Like Bluetooth is just not where I thought it was.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out an audio situation. I got a lot of complicated stuff going on. What I really need to do is get one of those Scarlett Focusrites because I'd like to hook my piano up to my computer and then also get a dynamic mic plugged into my computer instead of the condenser. Because if you listen to the last 2 episodes, you can tell my mic just does not work in my acoustic environment. Like pretty much recording in a tin box. So yeah, it's too bad, man. So and here's the thing, like I was going to spend like $180 on some Bose earbuds, but thank God my girlfriend had these ones and I realized this problem that Bluetooth has.
Returns are so easy on Amazon these days too.
Yeah. But I probably would have bought them off of eBay because they're a little bit cheaper. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Game of the week, guys?
Yeah, something that is super cheap for a game, seeing as it's free. Lost
Free
Ark.
as fuck.
Free as fuck. That's right. Nick and I both played some Lost Ark.
So did I.
Together. Oh, you played some too?
Yes, so did he.
Good. What'd you guys think?
I've got a lot of thoughts about it. First of all, just like talking about like their strategy and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Goddamn Asian development and Asian like just the culture of games and stuff. I'm like old man here, right? So when I got my first item, I was just born, a brand new fucking guy. My weapon was 35. I got a level 35 weapon. Why don't I have a level 1 weapon? Why is it not level 1?
Why do you start the game at level 10?
Why do you start the level?
Why do you start the game off with 6 abilities?
Yeah, 6 abilities.
8 abilities.
I felt like a god right out of the gate, and I get it. I get that there's an appeal for that.
Why are there 6 currencies already?
I want to.
Why does every lady have either her boobs out or is a nun?
It's the Asian thing, dude.
Awesome.
Generally, like those are all like things that you see in Japanese and Korean games. I would love. I always go to EverQuest with this. In EverQuest, you start in underwear, a T-shirt, and a stick, and you go out and you kill rats with that stick until you can afford a better stick or fucking pants or whatever it is. And you work your way up and you appreciate everything so much. I know I sound like a fucking pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You're not born a god, but like, yeah, you would appreciate that shit so much more if you worked for it. But no, you start with 6 amazing godlike abilities, and then you just build those up. The other thing is, I zoomed in. You can mouse in and look at everybody. Everybody's a supermodel. Every single person. It's just another thing. It's just like, goddamn, these people are good looking. Wow.
Especially the women.
Yeah, the women are all supermodels. Every single one of them.
I think they've put all the code to like make all the women look phenomenal, and then the men in this game I've noticed look like they're from Minecraft. I thought that was very hilarious. I was like, I stay with the priorities.
I don't know. I feel like my man's pretty sexy actually.
Oh, I must have been talking to a farmer.
So there's that gripe, right? And then Nick, it's the abilities. Like, why am I a superhero? Like at level 1 or 10, right? For no reason, level 10. I hate that part of it. So then I started playing it. Another thing that I hated, it was how long it took to get to the action. There's like little tiny snippets of action.
That's another thing. That's
another
Age of Open thing.
I want to say 2 hours of like, maybe it's an hour, but because I broke it up. But it's like story, little bit of action, story, little bit of action. Fucking, I was in town, no hyperbole, 25 minutes going from the lady in the bar to go talk to this person to find out about, and it's a huge game with so much complexity and depth that they need to like spoon feed you all this stuff so that you learn it all. I get it, guys. I get it. But this is not the way. Like, teach me one thing, send me on a mission. I come back, teach me another thing, send me on a mission. Don't teach me 10 things and then send me on a mission, and then I come back and then whatever. And then I learn how to do the there's another thing called what is it called, guys, when you like somebody likes you more?
Oh, the rapport.
A rapport, yeah. You build rapport with people, and they have rapport quests. And this is basically like Stardew Valley getting hearts with people, right? Mm-hmm. And that's another Asian thing that like it doesn't appeal to me. I know I complained for 5 minutes. At the end of this, though, once the game started to get its hooks in me. I'm like, okay, I'm like actually enjoying the gameplay loop here. The actual ARPG about it. Once you get shooting your fucking mech-like weapons, I play an artillerist, which is like the ranged. Once you click the ranged character, there's 3 ranged characters, and then you can go with like pistol person,
there's
sniper,
3 subclasses.
sniper.
For every class.
Every class has a 3 subclasses. Sniper person or this like artillerist who has this ridiculously big gun. That does all kinds of like AoE damage. And I'm having a great time. Like, it is awesome. I wish I would have got those abilities little by little so I could appreciate them more. When they just give you 8 amazing abilities, you're just like, I'll just spam the. Why would I even use auto attack? Why would I even use it if these don't cost much mana? And I can, anyway, the more I play it, the more I enjoy this game. I enjoy the lead up, and I didn't enjoy the general weebiness of it, I guess.
Did you? I want to ask you guys something. If you noticed this as much as I did, and I Googled it, and I found some other people that thought the same thing. Did you notice that when you hit mobs that they froze, like they have an animation for it?
Oh yeah,
like they're being stunned.
They're stunned, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Actually.
No matter what attack you use, they got stunned for about 0.3 seconds.
Yeah, it's an actual stat within weapons where like the stun the it's not stun, but whatever it's called, let's call it stun. The stun ability of this weapon is 0.4 seconds or whatever it is, and that goes into like.
Is it a stat?
Yeah, it's a stat.
I thought it was something in the game to compensate for lag.
Oh, wow. See, my first thought was...
That's what I was thinking it was about. Because I'm like, dude, this has to be for people that are using like a VPN or people that are trying to play the game outside of their country, because it's very well known that people in China play outside of country to play on European servers and also on Pacific servers all the time, and they always have connection issues. And I'm like, this has to either compensate for that or it's part of the game on purpose.
My first thought was it's part of the game on purpose. Definitely once I saw the stat, but first of all was, eventually in this game they're going to be sending massive waves of bad guys at me, and the only way I'm going to be able to hold them back is by putting all the bullets in them. That's what I was thinking, because it helps. Like, they're coming from
stun moves though. That's the thing.
That's additional. I think. I don't know. You might be right, dude. It could be due to the netcode, but this is a Korean game that's been out for a while. I think they have their netcode in Korea. I think they have their netcode dialed in probably at this point. I would hope. I think it's a feature, not a workaround.
I think it could be both,
Yeah.
And it's called Stagger, like on the
Stagger.
Yeah.
It's called Stagger.
Yep. And so I like it. I think it's a good feature and it's nice. But I think it could be both. You know what I mean? Like they could absolutely be like,
or a thing that started off as a workaround and became a feature.
Exactly.
Yeah. But how are you liking it, Dave?
Man, I love it. I first made a mage bard, essentially bubble healer. Like I put that on, or I went on the Invisca server that you're on, Nick, and like made that. Played that a little bit because I thought that was troll as shit to be launching music notes in purple at enemies, and like you just flatten an enemy and it's like bring. It's hilarious. But then I wanted to join SOCOM, who was the one that told me about this game, and so,
who has not stopped playing in days.
Yeah, I think he's already level 50. He's like at max. Yeah,
but my buddy just hit max level 2. Yeah. He lives for Diablo clones, and he's also a huge weeb. And so this is his shit, dude.
Yeah,
like he's like, we literally have not seen him in any other game, and he messaged me today, like for the first time in like. Since he played the game, he's like, "Do you think I should buy a PS5?" I'm like, "Are you gonna play Lost Ark when you buy it?"
Yeah. But
you're loving it. Are you playing it co-op?
So I've played a lot of it alone. I made a different character. I'm doing a martial artist that does like the power punches, which is super fun.
It's basically a monk, right? I'm guessing.
There's like nothing healing. It's like all power, and it's damaging as fuck. It's awesome, and like the rotation that I have of the skills that I use is just amazing. I have all these like push and pull different kind of skills, some AoE ones. Like I have this whole thing worked out where I can launch a palm that just flattens mobs from a distance, as then I skyrocket into the center of it and just wreak havoc all around. And it feels damn good.
Yeah.
And I played a few hours with Clown Lotion earlier, and we were actually complaining about the going back and forth between NPCs, like bullshit quests that you don't need, especially when you're running and they're right next to each other. It's like, bro, literally turn and talk to each other. The fuck. But I mean, other than that, it's been so much fun, and I just think it's visually gorgeous.
It's a very good looking game.
I'm having a lot of fun with this. I love it. I love the martial artist with the damage. It kind of brings me almost back to like the way I play Risk of Rain 2, with my little zap zoopy guy running all around, slashing and cutting everybody
awesome. That's my favorite guy too.
That's my favorite, and so this martial artist that I'm playing, I feel very much like it's that, but in this, and it's cool.
Go ahead, Nick.
One of my favorite / like hated parts of this game is the chosen one syndrome. Because you know how like every game ever has like, you are the chosen one.
Harry.
Like in Mass Effect, like you are Commander Shepard, the Forsaken one to guide all sentient life for safety. This is the same thing, and it's like in the beginning of the game, they're like, "You've already saved the world once from the devil and all of his demons." And you're like, oh, shit. All right, cool. I guess I'm doing it again. And then you get to the town. You're like, there's like 80 other fucking people like me that are also save the world, too.
That's the problem with the Golden Child and then MMOs. You can't be both, dude. You can't.
No.
You have to be realistic.
And that's what Warcraft does, I think, now. Is like you no longer are the chosen one. Like you're just like another member of the Horde, or you're just another member of the Alliance.
Yeah.
You're just like a quote unquote lieutenant.
And that's the problem. I'm going to go back to this again about, starting off feeling like a god. It's just like, you don't appreciate it. It's like fucking rich people are dicks, right? They grow up being dicks because they always had everything you ever wanted. Same thing. Like if you're born in the game with everything, you're not going to appreciate shit. You're going to just be a dick and leave the game. I don't know if I'm going to continue playing it. I enjoy it. Days the rotation on like once you get your rotation down
Your strategy.
with the artillerist, I can start the fight from far away with a mortar shell, and that pops them up in the air. And then I hit them with like a volley from the top, and that makes them bounce around in the air with some of that stagger ability. So already they're super fucked. And then after that, I walk up closer and I hit him with the Gatling gun, and it looks and it feels like you're making Swiss cheese out of enemies, which is always super satisfying. And there's another little thing that's different from ARPGs. In general, when you're playing these games, the creatures in general are always smaller than you. It's Diablo, all this stuff. It's like you're a little guy, you're a human, and then everything, I'm generalizing here, is like dog-shaped or dog-sized. And there's just waves and waves. In this game, the bad guys are huge.
Yeah.
Compared to other ARPGs. And it does make it more satisfying when you kill them with using that stuff. So here's where like some of the depth comes. So there's pets, mounts, and then you have your, what is it, 6 abilities you start with, and then you go up to 8, something like that, right?
Yeah, you have 6 abilities, and then you have an ult, and then you have like one other thing.
Each one of those,
you have your Z ability or your V ability. I can't remember which one it is.
which I've never used once, by the way. But anyway,
they're fucking super strong. Yeah.
Each one of those abilities that we're talking about, each has their own skill tree, and they are slow to unlock. Like, just to get to the first skill point where you like upgrade it, it takes 5 skill points just to get to the first one where you get to pick something. And then you have to get 5 more after that. So 10 skill points just to get to the second tier of one ability. So you really have to just like go after one thing, find out whatever your best ability is, and go down that. That's how I felt. I guess you could spread it out too, but it doesn't feel like you're getting much if you don't get to the actual tiers.
So
go ahead.
So one thing I wanted to mention about this, or 2 things I wanted to mention about this game. One super positive thing that I really, really, really liked about this game was the new to me, I would say, are the sweet spot spells where you're channeling and then you let go for like an added effect. I don't know if your characters have those. I played the big sword guy.
Warrior.
You hold, like, for example, one of mine was my R spell, and it channels, and like it's like a 4-second channel, and if you let go at like 3.2 seconds, you get an even bigger explosion. You do twice as much damage.
Kind of like how some games have a reload where you reload faster.
Like an active reload from Gears of War, exactly.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, I don't have one of those, but my character does. This gun does everything. It's like a fucking go-go gadget gun. It's huge, and I have a flamethrower part of it, and you hold down the button to do the flamethrower. But I found it really cool that you can actually still move your character and like circle around. This game is it's a lot about cone effects and getting the enemies and attacking from the right angle. If you do it from the right angle, you'll fuck them all up. It's all about positioning. And
when you fight bosses, it tells you like frontal attack, side flank attack, rear attack. Like it's telling you that you're hitting them from like the correct angles or whatever you need to do. It's telling you.
I hadn't even noticed that.
Yeah, when you fight the first boss, it tells you frontal attack, or it's telling you you're fighting ineffectively.
So are you guys going to continue to play? And also, I don't think we're on the same server. How easy or hard is it to get on the same server? Who knows, right? I don't think you can jump.
Well, if you have one of the founders packs, you can have multiple people. Like I got the bronze founder pack, the one that's like just I think $15, and it has allowed me to have like two like
characters.
Well, it's like 2 accounts on each server. So I have like an account that is on the same server that Nick's on West. And I can make characters in that world or whatever, because I think you get 6 different characters that you can have on a server.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think you use one of each class.
Yeah, which is cool. And then I have one on East as well.
The other thing I don't like about this game is so many notifications. There's red dots.
Yeah,
There's red dots
overwhelming.
everywhere, and you're just like, it feels like a mobile game where you're just like, is this what people want? They just want to do things. They just want
shit to do.
More
dude.
They just want shit to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The designer, the designers of this game, the developer of this game wants this to be the only game you play. They want you to stay in the game as long as possible.
You
Yeah.
can tell with like the loot boxes and all the claim rewards and a ton of like feel good shit that they put in there, you know?
And so this was like the final thing I wanted to talk about. So like Leslie was like, why is everything I'm getting coming in fucking chests?
Oh yeah.
Every single thing I'm getting is in a chest.
Even though it's
"That's
one
my
thing."
Leslie. Even exactly. And she's like, my pet is in a chest. My mount is in a chest. Why is everything in a chest? I'm like, it's a high mechanic, Leslie. Like everything that you get is in it is it's a slot machine. It's like you feel like you're gambling. And she's like, oh, that makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, this is targeted towards kids. Like this is targeted towards young men. And she's like, that explains all the cleavage and underboob that's everywhere.
Yeah, I can
And
tell.
I'm like, yeah. And it was funny. So like we were like, playing the game, right? And I go, hey, look, that lady has normal clothes. She's like, Nicholas, that lady's wearing shorts under her butt cheeks and a painted on shirt. That is not normal clothes. And I'm like, it's as close to normal as you can get.
Yeah.
And it turns out like it's paid clothes. Like it's like a skin you can buy.
Jeez.
You know,
To
like,
cover up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and like my character, man, she literally runs around in just a bra and underwear. Like
Yeah.
slinging punches and titties, dude. Like it's just
If
I
I was-
love it.
If I was gonna wrap this up, I'd say that it does all the free to play shit that free to play games do, and the bad shit, and somehow it's still a fun game.
Yeah, somehow
Yeah.
it's still fun.
Yeah, so I would put it under recommend only because it's free, but you need to put it. The amount of sewage you need to wade through to get to the good part is, I guess it's worth it. It's not so much sewage that like, don't even touch this thing. Like once you get there, it's actually really fun. And that's where they make their money, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put it on a recommend.
I recommend as well. My last quip is Leslie goes, ooh, that looks really cool. I'm like, babe, that costs money. No.
Yeah.
I'd also recommend this. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be playing more of it this week as well. Because it's just, to me, I love that my character's fast. I've never played like a martial artist fighting character in a fantasy world. So it's a fun, unique combo. I just kind of worry of it being, in a way, too easy. So far, I've been having like a really easy time. I've been going into dungeons, putting them on hard, and like soloing them. They're not difficult.
Yeah.
Everyone says at the end of the game is
Is where it's hard.
it's where like the training wheels come off.
I do like that part too, that you could put any dungeon on hard and it shows you what the reward difference is. This one you're going to get a blue, this one you're definitely going to get a purple. And so you see it first of all. You're basically just going to use more health potions is the difference. Last thing, the global chat is cancer. Just like fucking,
It always is.
Yeah, it always is.
Oh man,
It
it's
is
real bad.
nonstop fucking how much gold you
And
can buy.
bombs, everything.
Yeah, it's-
work around the cussing filter like it's bad.
One kid did shout out, "This is the easiest game I've ever played, and I'm really, really good at it." I'm like, okay, I'm playing with 7-year-olds. All right, I gotta go pee.
All right.
Alrighty. Well, quick shout out to some subscriptions here. Katoom250 subscribing for 14 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Katoon.
14 months. All right. An Epic Tryhard Face with 28 months.
Jeez.
I like your face.
Damn,
Epic
Bobby.
Tryhard face.
And something happened. We dropped the Patreon page in like acid or something. And it's all different. I don't know, dude. It's crazy. There's just
You
this
guys
one.
need to check it out.
Yeah.
Something's happened to it, man.
Yep. We've got new perks at the $5 tier here. So this is what you get for $5. If you want to support us financially, then Patreon is probably the best way to do it. Or you can subscribe to us on Twitch. That always helps too. But for just $5 a month, you get a shout out on the show. You get a green Discord name and access to the Patreon channel. The periodical NSFW episodes, which we've got one coming up in a couple weeks here. You get access to that. It's going to be spicy. You also get access to our show notes. And I don't know if a lot of our patrons know this, but it is posted in Patreon. You can go there and you can see our show notes, like what we read off of during the show. A little behind the scenes stuff. Also, you get promoted to the live role. So if you're on Discord and you're streaming and you're a patron, then you get promoted to the live role, which puts you up at the top and people can see what you're playing. Check out your stream. Also, entry into the High Score Hall of Fame on our website, dlgaming.net. And if you keep this up for 3 months, so 3 months at the $5 tier, you get a DLG sticker pack. Put them wherever you want. And then if you stick with us even longer, 6 months, you get a T-shirt. Lots of T-shirts. We also have these for sale on our website. And then also after a full year, you can troll us by picking a caster to play any game for 3 hours and give a review.
What would be like a torturous game for everyone to play? Like Ray would have had to play Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
Yeah, whew, that'd be rough for me too, just all the reading.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be, like, you could just make us play your favorite game of all time, even from childhood or whatever. Even if we got to spend money. Like, you put the year in, dude. You deserve it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously we're front-loading the $5, guys, because that's where we want you. Help us out, and we'll help you out. I don't know.
All right.
Do you want to do the recap, Emilio? Do you want me to do the recap?
Yeah, go for it, Nick.
So for On the Radar, we had Power Slave Exhumed. We talked about the Steam Deck, Model Builder, Elder Scrolls Online, High Isle, America's Army Shutting Down, War of Rights, and Wanderer. For game highlights of the week, for the games that we played, Bobby talked about his new monitor, the Asus ROG XG349C. Emilio talked about possibly returning his DualSense controller. Me and Days played more Dying Light 2. Me and Emilio geeked out about Kamigawa. Days played How Fish is Made. We also talked about Ready or Not. And Bobby talked about the Sony WF-1000XM3 Bluetooth earbuds. And the game of the week this week was Lost Ark.
That's the most professional thing you've ever done, dude. That was well done.
You give me a script, dude. I'll read it good.
Can you do it like 20% faster next time?
I mean, sure, yeah. Sure. I mean, I had to plug in the words in between everything, but yeah.
Oh no! I think you did fucking great. Just to be clear, I thought that was goddamn awesome.
Yeah, when you compare it to me, week after week, fucking word vomit. Christian, we don't need comments from the peanut gallery, man. Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
Get your mouth shut, boy.
And speaking of, I don't know, peanuts or whatever kind of transition works, man, we do have coming up, so you're definitely going to want to subscribe pretty soon, because coming up we will have a Not Suitable for Work episode. There is on our Discord, which you can find our Discord on dlgaming.net. There's a link to it, to our Discord on there. And if you get in, there is a channel open for Not Suitable for Work questions. And so nothing is off limits, I think, with the questions, right?
Yeah. Well, we should make it clear that anybody can ask the questions, but only patrons will be able to listen to the episode.
Yeah. Exactly.
So even if you're not a patron yet, go ahead and throw a question in there.
As long as it's not actively criminally and incriminating, yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right.
The last thing to plug. We talked about our games of the week, so it was Last Ark this week. This week, it's my turn to choose. I think everyone knows what I'm going to choose. Unfortunately, it's going to be a 2-weeker because it comes out on Thursday. However, it is free because it is on Game Pass. It is Total War Warhammer 3. For those who don't know, there is 8-person multiplayer. There's even a 3-person multiplayer mode, and it can be done in 3 hours. So check it the fuck out.
Wait,
hey, Nick.
You like Total War?
Shut up.
Nick.
Don't make fun of me.
I'm not poo-pooing you at all. I'm in full support of doing this game for Game of the Weeks. But since it comes out on Thursday, maybe we should do something different for this week and then do 2 weeks. What do you think?
Oh, sure.
He's super upset about this.
We can do 2 weeks.
I am going to be making a 10 to 20 minute video, like a deep dive on it, and uploading it to the DLG.
All right, let's do the 2
channel.
weeks. Let's do the 2 weeks. You're right. Thursday, Friday. It's when I play anyway, and most people play after Thursday.
All right.
All right.
So yeah.
So 2 weeks of Warhammer.
Oh, boy.
Buckle in, folks. And by the way, we also want money while you're while you're dealing with these 2 weeks of Warhammer. Congratulations.
All right.
Let's look at these listener questions, boys.
On to listener questions. So this one comes from Stormy. It says, when will Sniper play Catan with me?
Yeah, I'm kind of a celebrity in the Catan sphere. I don't really play with just anyone these days. I'm ranked like in the top 10 globally, galaxy wide. So I don't really have time. So yeah, probably never.
Do you play the free browser version?
Dude.
Colonist.io.
No, I don't play the free browser version. Hello?
What
Yeah,
do
you can play it anywhere. It's just
I can't
called
tell if he's being
Colonist.io.
serious. Is he being serious?
Why do you ask?
Dead
I'm not the
serious.
resident Canadian. I don't know.
I know.
I can't play free version, dude. That's like what the peasants play, you know? I'm up here
He's like,
with
I play on my Canadian
By the
maple
way-
syrup.
yeah, I play with
version.
diamond pieces over here. Pure diamonds.
It's a game about peasants, by the way. But anyway.
All right. Afro Dragon asks, have you ever felt overwhelmed by someone's level of nerd? This dude is next level. By the way, I love Nick's over geek on Warhammer shit. I appreciate you. I'm
Thank you,
glad
Afro
someone
Dragon.
does.
Afro Dragon is talking about one step removed from about me, basically. Like, if there's been a complaint about me throughout my life, is that like I hype up things too much. Like I'm that guy. Marvel's the best shit you've ever seen in your life. How can you have not seen these movies? What is wrong with you? Talking about Bobby.
I don't know if he's talking about that specifically.
Nah, man.
Like
I'm
the
talking-
like
I think he's talking
overhyping.
about like the dude that comes up to you that's like will talk your ear off about like Darth Plagueis for like 4 hours. He knows like his
Yeah.
horoscope. He knows what toilet paper he uses.
Mhm.
He's that level of nerd, you know.
Mhm.
And we are still talking about you, I guess, Nick.
Ouch.
What I think about is like when you're talking about like a Space Marines, you're like, did you know that they're like 7'2" and they can take a 5.56 round 2 inches deep into the 4-inch armor? And I'm like, yeah, but it's all made up, Nick. None of that's real. But you say it like it's fucking fact. It's like, you know, and I'm like, all right, I can follow you a certain amount. And then I'm like, all right. But I read the books. The books are good, I guess. Some of the books.
The books are good.
The books are good.
What about you guys, Bobby? Have you ever encountered somebody like that besides me?
No, I usually am that guy, but I've gotten pretty good. I mean, I'm a nerd from the 90s, dude. I know how to keep that shit on the lowdown. You know?
Facts.
I remember one time it was when I had just started working for the school district. I shared an office with one of the PE coaches, and he made a comment or something. He was like talking about how, like one time he walked to a bar and there was like a bunch of weirdos in there, and he was like, yeah, it was like that, you know, it was like that thing from that Star Wars movie where he walks into the bar, and I'm just like, oh yeah, the thing, and yeah, I know that, you know. But of course, like the real me is like, the Mos Eisley Cantina, wretched hive of scum and villainy. You know, but you know, you play cool, dude.
That's right.
So,
Proceeds to name every character in there.
and
Yeah.
I could, dude.
And the actors
And
that
I
play
could.
them.
That's how I feel a lot of times as well. Like I don't really get overwhelmed anymore by people nerding out and being a geek. I'm a massive nerd, have been my whole life. Hang out with mostly science people and work in a very science and nerdy like lab and job. So it's like I run into people that nerd out and geek out on shit all the time. But I'm kind of with Bobby too. It's like, yeah, you gotta play it cool. You can't be whipping out all the knowledge, you know? Some people
think
ain't ready for it.
Yeah, they're not ready for it. But I guess is the spirit of the question somebody who like doesn't have that filter, right?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes people they just don't know that like they share too much of like that stuff, and it's just
Yeah.
it could be
Scare
on
people away,
any
too.
topic, and it's just like, dude, like I just got home from work. I don't care. You know, like
Yeah.
come on.
I think the problem are the people that take it either way too seriously or just like they get like arrogant about it, or like they think that they're better than you, that they know more about it than you do.
Actually,
Well, actually,
Sure, Space Marines are 7-6. You know, like it sticks like that. Like it's like you're just like, nah, man, I don't want to play this Warhammer game with you anymore, man. Like, I'm done. I'm putting my toy soldiers away.
So yes, I think we've all dealt with it, and we all also have to censor ourselves from being that person too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
All right.
You got it, Bobby.
Next question from Hoosier 98.
One
89.
thing, sorry. What thing do you think you could go on about more than anything else, Bobby, in nerddom? It's got to be Star Wars for you, huh? Would you say?
Yeah, I mean Star Wars. Like if we're talking nerddom, I mean I could talk forever and ever about like editing and cameras and stuff like that too.
But that's also like useful, like real world shit.
Yeah, that's you can use that to make money.
Yeah,
I suppose. Yeah, okay, so like useless knowledge, yeah, Star Wars.
Star Wars. Days.
Mine's Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls.
The Elder Scrolls universe.
You know all about the different
so
areas.
much of it, the Daedra and like and a lot of the other.
I was gonna say earlier when you were talking that like it must be nice from a game developing standpoint to have a fleshed out world already. You don't have to make all that shit up again.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's already established, and you just like let's insert a story from here to here, right? Because there's thousands of years of history, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Chris, what can you talk about extensively? Useless knowledge.
Oh yeah, it's disgusting. Star Wars, because I've read all the books and read all the encyclopedias, and yeah, useless, completely useless. But I annoy people constantly with that shit anyways. So
Nick, it's got to be Warhammer for you, right?
Yeah.
Both
Warhammer 40K and Warhammer Fantasy.
All right.
I guess it would be Magic the Gathering for me, especially now. I don't know.
Dude, no, it's like when you go into a room and you're like, you're just measuring people's arms. You're not like nerding out, but you're nerding out.
You're such a son of a bitch.
You know what's funny is I'm actually wearing a Magic the Gathering shirt right now. I'm wearing the green symbol baseball tee.
Of course
you are. Of course you are.
Christian, are you drawing Ponda Baba here? Is that what's going on?
Wow, dude! How the fuck did you know?
What's
just
Ponda Baba? I don't know what Ponda Baba.
I thought it was hairy ass.
He doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
I got the death sentence.
Got that? No, that's
Dr.
Evans on.
Star
Who's got
Wars
the death sentence
podcast,
and 12
boys.
systems.
I love that shit.
God damn it. That was good, dude. That is fucking good. Nice.
Yeah. I knew that even before you started drawing the butt cheeks there, dude. I just knew that was coming.
It's like I recognize
I thought they were butt cheeks.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this goes so deep. You know everybody in the cantina. Okay, got it.
All right. Next question from Hoosier 89. You just spent the last 2 days of. Oh, wait a second. You just spent your last 2 days of an 18-hour work day per day. I'm sorry, I should have rescripted this. So he's got a hypothetical question here.
Yeah, you worked a lot.
Yeah, you worked a lot. You have free time tonight and a lot of alcohol, and you're going to play a game to relieve your stress. What game is it? Tales of Narnia.
It released.
Is that with or without Nadia, though?
Like, is she there on the second screen?
No, but seriously, Deep Rock Galactic is like Deep Rock or Battlefront 2 I was using for a while just to like turn my brain off. But Deep Rock, I can play that game on autopilot now, so that's definitely like just a game I use to chill out.
For me, it's definitely Risk of Rain, 100%. Like single player Risk of Rain is like, I give zero shits if I die. Zero. I don't care. I sit down and I'm like, I just want to shoot things. And then I shoot things. And then I feel good. And then I die. And then I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to do any. I've already beat the game. I don't give a fuck. But it's fun. You also don't know which way it's going to go anytime because there's different items. But I'm not even trying to build a build. I'm literally just shooting things as a mantra, as a meditation. And I'm just going through the motions. Last night, I saw that, last game played 30 minutes. And I was like, wow, I was drunk because I don't remember that at all. But I did. I sat down and I fucking just it probably got me past it. Sam and I got fucking wasted last night. Fucking UFC and people came over and whatever. But I was probably too drunk to go lay down because I probably would have thrown up. So I just played Risk of Rain and like leveled out and then went to bed. God, I sound like an addict, double addict, video game and alcohol addict. God damn it! All right.
Mine's kind of similar in the sense that I also sometimes to just relax and stuff love to shoot stuff. So it would be Call of Duty, because then you could just get like a quick game, you know.
But
And you
isn't
can do a
it?
few games and get it? It could go either way, and same with my other one. Like I'd be conflicted of which one to play, either Call of Duty or Ark, and both of those do not sound like they're stress relieving. They sound
Right.
stress inducing, right?
Dude,
But with
don't play
Ark,
Ark drunk. Mm-mm.
well, my thing is with Ark, what I really like doing is, you know,
I'm sorry, we're not talking about Lost Ark. We're talking about.
we're
Ark.
talking about Ark,
Okay.
the dinosaur survival game. Yeah, but what makes that relaxing to me is if I can get on a flyer and then I'll just fly for hours. So that's the relaxing part. But yeah, like I wouldn't want to build and try and tame dinosaurs as relaxation because it's not. It's work. But
Days, question about Lost Ark. Did you watch all the? Did you pay attention to the story?
yeah,
Is
it's
it any
not that
good?
good.
No, it's not
No,
that
it's
good.
like
Yeah.
the most like the
Contrived.
yeah, it's like the classic tropes of shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're like, oh my god, spiders! Wow, no video game has ever put spiders in.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh my god, they're big spiders.
Zombies? Get the fuck
Wait, wait,
out
wait,
of here!
wait, wait,
Nobody
wait. Hold on,
put
hold on,
zombies
hold
in
on.
games.
Arks saved the world last time, but we lost them and we have to find them again?
Yeah.
No way.
And there's these like bad guys that are trying to also find it and take it, and you got to take them down. Yeah. It's novel idea.
Yeah. So I wanted to say that I was being prejudiced, right? Because of the way the boobs, the action, the abilities are presented, I knew that the story was going to be presented in a certain way, and that is not. It doesn't jive with me. That kind of storytelling with what comes with starting with level 10, right? I'm just not into it. So I was being prejudiced, but I was right.
The story is very just fight. Go talk to this guy, even though he's literally right next to me.
Okay, Warconius has
Wow.
this is kind of a statement here.
Whoa, dude!
Nick, what would you play to relieve stress?
Oh, we didn't get to Nick. Okay.
It's not even cool, man.
No, just War Thunder. Just getting in a tank and just blowing shit up
War Thunder.
or getting blown up. Like, you just don't care because, like, as soon as you get killed, you just jump into another game. Takes like 2 seconds.
There you go.
Okay.
I really like playing Catan Online to chill down. The free version, just to really chill out. Catan Online, you can find me there at Sniper.
This is why you're not on the fucking podcast, Chris.
Oh my god.
Statements and interruptions like that.
What? Interrupt? I just had to share a fun fact about myself. That's fine. Fine, whatever.
I love you, dude. I'm just kidding.
Okay, Warconius says a lot of babies have been complaining about the Steam Deck battery life, and it just seems stupid to me. Of course, if you push FPS to the max at a higher detail, it'll drain the battery. Has no one ever had a gaming laptop? If it's doing 7 hours straight of Dead Cells and has a good frame rate, what else do we need? Do people have unrealistic expectations of handhelds? Also, people complaining about Steam Deck and not being portable enough. What the hell? Keep playing mobile games if you just want to have it fit in your pocket.
Great question.
I don't think that's a question. I think that's more of an angry statement.
It's-
but I think the answer
It's
is
Warconius. He can do whatever he wants.
He's
It's quite the rant.
Yeah,
But you know what? I do understand what he's saying because I never care about battery life. Like it's always a point, you know, it's always a bullet point on a phone or a device or
Yeah.
a laptop. They're just like 11 hours of battery. Never care.
But you're not a power user either.
No, I'm not on my phone that much. And the headphones or the earbuds that I was talking about earlier and the Bose ones that I was looking at, 5-6 hours of battery life, you know, on
That's great.
Yeah.
I
Which seems pretty low.
I will reiterate. I got a lot of shit because I jumped from like two phone, especially from Jens. He's like, dude, you just bought a phone. You just got a new phone. My current phone is one of my favorite phones ever, if not my favorite phone. Galaxy Ultra. Nope. 20. You have the same
I have
phone?
the same one,
Days?
yeah.
It's great, right?
It's amazing.
You
I
have
love
any
my phone.
problems?
Nope.
No, it's great. And then I have the Earbuds Live, Galaxy Earbuds Live. They weren't very popular very long. They were out for like 6 months. I don't know if they stopped production. I work in construction. I drop them all the time. Not so much like they fall out of my ear, but like whatever. I'm handling with my gloves, and they just go flying. I've dropped a case. I've dropped everything. They just keep on ticking. They're fucking fantastic. Fantastic. 10 out of 10. Love them. It's also, Bobby, the way we were talking about where they clip into the top of your ear.
Mm-hmm. The wingtips.
Yeah, the wingtips. They don't go into your ear canal. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. I fucking love them. And also, I have a Galaxy Watch 4. Sorry, guys, but like I had the Galaxy Watch 3, and they were like, we'll give you $250 for your old watch, and the new ones cost $400. You can get this new one. I think it was like $99 is what it cost me to get the new upgrade. I'm like, oh, and my 3s were broken, and I was like, they don't know it's broken, so I sent it back. They accepted it, and I have the top of the line for fucking $99. Why not? So I'm all Galaxied out, and I am a huge Samsung fan.
I am also a Samsung fan.
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
not. I hope Samsung doesn't make Lost Ark because
My fridge is Samsung now. And it plays Lost
Oh,
Ark.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how we got there. We're talking about battery life or something.
yeah, whatever.
Samsungs have good battery life. There we go. That's the
Okay.
full circle tie-in right there. Yeah.
All right. Zap says, if you had to eat one PC component, motherboard, GPU, fan, etc., which would it be and why?
I'd eat the hard drive.
The hard drive.
Like actually
Yep.
eat it.
Yep, delicious. Think of all the knowledge in there, dude. All the files. They'll become. I'll
Osmosis.
become one with it. Yeah, exactly.
You know, Johnny Mnemonic, he had like a 320 gig hard drive in his brain, I think. And yet he overloaded it somehow, which I don't know how you do that. But, you know, it was 1996. Things were different back then.
I mean, the
I'm gonna
world is
go
still a
with,
lot to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Those Noctua fans that had like those flexi fan blades, those really silent ones.
Those look
They're
tasty.
like so they'd be a little chewier than just plastic.
I gotta go with all the cables. They look like spaghetti. They kind of I feel like they'd be fun to chew on. Like, yeah, they have a
Okay.
little bit of Play-Doh to them.
I'm
There
trying
you
to
go.
break my teeth.
It's not really a component, but okay.
Fuck off, Bobby. If I gotta eat a fucking computer, I make my own rules.
The
man.
cables, I don't know if that counts.
A better
like you'd have
question
the
is:
best,
we all
like-
have to choose a part to eat, and we have to eat it together. Like we have one computer, and DLG all has to eat separate.
We
parts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Eat
So
a
one
Steam
person
Deck.
has to eat the GPU, one person has to eat the hard drive.
Weird questions, Zap. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Weird
Good
question.
one.
All right. I think that is all of the questions. So what's everybody playing next week?
Just putting it out there, like on the not safe for work episode, you could be like, which component would you insert? That's what we're talking about, guys. Crazy shit.
Okay.
I'm drunk, obviously.
I'm looking at you, USB.
It's universal, guys. We can all share it.
Oh man, yeah.
Plug, play, plug, play, plug,
Oh
play.
my God.
I'll be playing some Lost Ark, not playing
love
with
it, huh?
USBs.
You
I
lo-
like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
fun.
good. It's good.
It's fun.
I'm
But I'll
playing
also
just existing until Thursday.
yeah.
Now, Bobby, are you like based on what's your takeaway as a listener about fucking Lost Ark?
Ark.
Yeah,
Wouldn't really get into it.
yeah, because you
Honestly,
hate-
was more interested in it last week when I didn't know anything.
Yeah,
about it.
right,
And I
right,
just saw
right.
like the Steam page, and now hearing you guys talk about it.
we did complain about it more than we congratulated it.
Well,
but-
it's a huge time sink, and it's a big hurdle at the beginning. And I don't really do ARPGs. Like that's one of my least favorite genres.
interesting.
Even though I've dumped a lot of hours into Diablo.
We didn't talk about it, but you have your combat level, which is your character level, and you have your roster level, which is like these are perks that goes through all your characters. So this is a game that's built to suck time because
Mm-hmm.
it's from the ground up. It's built for like you having a character of every class. So anyway, I really want to. Shit, there's so much I want to play. I want to play Dying Light. I want to play Deathloop. So those are two big ones. And then I guess we're waiting for Warhammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm in an odd position here. Like I don't have any game that I need to get to really. So I don't know. We'll just see what happens this week.
Backlog time, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, realistically, we have time for 2 games: the game of the week and one other game. Generally, right?
Yeah. I mean, I try to get one new thing a week.
Yeah.
So, because if I spread myself too thin, I'm not really going to be able to speak too much on just one game. So,
yeah,
I'll find something to dive into.
There you go. All right. Is that it? Nick, did you say you're just going to survive till Thursday?
Just existing until Thursday. That's what I'm playing.
Chris, what are you going to be playing? I'm actually interested.
Oh, more Star Wars Galaxies, but me and Nick, I think I want to play a multiplayer game of Warhammer when it comes out and do it like consistently week to week. And if we can get the more the merrier, I feel like, because it's 8 players simultaneous, so you're not waiting for people's turns. I feel like that'd be neat.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool.
The other thing, Chris, is I've seen you on Star Wars Galaxies more than I've seen you on any game ever, I think. Like you've been on there a lot. Are you actually on there, or is that part of your, promotion team stuff?
No. I'm actually, whenever it's there, I'm usually playing the game unless I accidentally leave it online or something. I moved to a little town called Mos Pelgo. Expanded my tailor shop. I'm now selling rare clothes that have certain enhancements. I don't know, man. It's just so easy to get lost in and sink a lot of time into. I'm having like a great time. So
that's fantastic.
That's amazing.
Dude. I love. That's a fucking. That's a happy story.
Yeah.
You fucking you helped this game get back on its tracks,
and
now you're
enjoying.
enjoying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Your little
great,
slice of
dude.
life.
I love the role play. Nothing cringy, but just like, yeah. I live in
Good,
the Star
man.
Wars world. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Awesome.
Good. I'm glad you're doing that.
And
All right,
now the
speaking
Total
for-
War Warhammer World will consume you on Thursday.
Speaking for Nick, Chris, Bobby, Amanda, and myself. Oh shit. Galaxy tits. Across the universe.
Tits out of this world.
Bobby's never been happy with one of my titties. Never one.
It's literally like Kaiser Soze, dude. You just look around the room and it's like, that.
It's like the bit from Family Guy where he's like, "Sir, what's your name?" And he looks around and he sees a P on the plate and he's like, P. And then he sees like someone crying and he's like, tear. And then a griffin flies through the griffin and he's like, Griffin. Yeah, Peter Griffin. And he's like, fuck.